Good afternoon, everyone. Romney Smith at WTOC for The News Now. This is where we bring you stories that we're working on for you right now. We are on various platforms, and I thank you for giving us just a few minutes of your afternoon. The big story we're following right now actually is not local. It's in Cincinnati because there was a mass shooting there earlier today. Ohio law enforcement is reporting that 4 people are dead and 2 others were injured in a shooting at the Fifth Third Bank in downtown Cincinnati this morning. Police say 1 of the 4 people that are dead is the suspected shooter. The very first call came in around 9:15 this morning. Multiple shots were fired in a lobby and the loading dock of Fifth Third Bank. Police completed their search of the crime scene around 11 a.m. and just into WTOC from our sister station up there, Cincinnati police confirmed that the shooter is not a current or former bank employee, meaning disgruntled employee is not one of the motivations behind the shooting. Again, our sister station, WXIX, spoke with people impacted by the shooting this morning. Take a listen to what they had to say about it.
While you were at work today,
all I know is when I came from the back, there were numerous amounts of gunshots, and then after that, it was more and more. It was a total of maybe 20 to 30 gunshots. We did not see anything. We just know we were told to take cover, lock the doors, and we were on lockdown until further notice.
Be on your back of your mind. It has to be on your back of your mind tomorrow, and you have to think and quick and act and just get away from the scene and just be safe.
A woman on a gurney with blood all over her face, and they cut her shirt off and they were patching her up, and then a black guy with long dreads, his shirt was already cut off and his gurney was up like this. I'm assuming he...
Fifth Third Bank actually put out a statement about the shooting this morning. I have it up on my iPad right here, saying earlier today, an active shooter entered our headquarters building in downtown Cincinnati. The situation is contained and the shooter is no longer a threat. Our thoughts and prayers are with everyone caught up in this terrible event. We continue to work with law enforcement as we ensure the safety of our employees and customers. We are grateful for the support and concerns from our neighbors throughout Cincinnati and the country. Keep in mind, this is still a developing story, although there is no longer an immediate threat to this area of Cincinnati that's actually pretty popular and usually has a lot of people around it. If there are any more updates, we will pass along to you. But for those of you who are just joining us, the big story right now, not coming out of the Coastal Empire or the Low Country, more like Cincinnati, where there was a mass shooting this morning, leaving 4 people dead and injuring 2. Police there confirming that 1 person who was one of the 4 that died is the suspected shooter, and that person was not an employee or a former employee of Fifth Third Bank. So right now they're still looking into the motivations behind the shooting. At this point, no one has been identified, but as soon as we learn that information, we absolutely will pass it on to you. Again, I see you guys on Facebook right now weighing in, sending your thoughts and prayers, saying this is so sad, seeing the praying hands emojis, saying unbelievable. We completely are right there with you. It seems like once we have it free and clear and nothing happens for a while, another one kind of pops up on you. Amanda Alice is saying, my family in Cincinnati are okay, praying for the victims. Glad to hear your family's okay, but certainly big news of the day sometimes is not local, but we do think it's important to pass that along to you. But I do want to get to some local news that we are continuing to follow. Right now, a standoff with law enforcement on Sandpine Court in Effingham County ended peacefully. This is video taken from the scene around 11:30 last night. WTOC was actually kept pretty far away from the actual scene because it was a dangerous situation, potentially dangerous, I should say. Effingham County Sheriff's deputies say the family told them a man had a gun inside the home. Thankfully, deputies were able to make contact with the suspect and talk him out of the house, and no one was injured. We also have some pretty incredible video of huge flames out of South Carolina. A home is now destroyed in Colleton County, South Carolina, after a massive fire at a Myrtle Grove plantation home off Whitehall Road. 1 firefighter had to be taken to the hospital for cuts. However, that firefighter has since been released. Firefighters battled the 3-alarm fire for a whopping 12 hours. Clearly, you can see how large the flames were, completely engulfed at one point. No word yet on what caused the huge blaze. Now they have all the top stories out of the way, I do want to get a quick look at weather right now. WTOC's Cutter Martin actually breaking down the uncertainty of Hurricane Florence's track.
Hey there, I want to do something just a little bit different this morning when talking about Florence. Before I get to that, first of all, I want to remind you below in the WTOC weather app, track current conditions with Florence. You can get all that in the app, also tropical updates on TV and WTOC.com, as well as on our social media platforms. But talking about the factors at play with Florence for the next few days. Weaker today, primary reason, it's dealing with a lot of wind shear, and that short-term weakening today into early tomorrow could have an implication or an impact on that eventual long-term track, which is still really uncertain. We just don't know exactly where it is going to go. As it weakens today, it may try to bend back to the west a little bit. Going to be a factor to watch. I don't think we'll have a much better idea on the track next week until we get to the Sunday, Monday time frame. And as far as what you need to do right now, really not much. Of course, review your hurricane checklist, your supply kit. We always encourage you to do that during hurricane season. And just check back here over the next several days for tropical updates.
All right, and one last look at our top story for those of you who are just now tuning in. We're following breaking news out of Cincinnati. A mass shooting happened this morning. It left 4 people dead and injured 2. Police in Cincinnati saying one of the people who is dead is the suspected shooter. They've also confirmed that person is not a current employee of the bank, of Fifth Third Bank, and also was not a former employee. So a disgruntled employee or former employee is not one of the motivations. That's something police are still investigating right now. Again, 4 people dead, 2 injured after a shooting at Fifth Third Bank in downtown Cincinnati this morning. This situation still under investigation. We have a sister station there, WXIX. They've been on top of this story all day long. As soon as we get an update for you, we will bring it to you right here on WTOC. Keep in mind, you can always keep in touch with us online on our website, WTOC.com. Thanks so much for joining us for this quick digital update. I'll see you later.